Okay guys, so here's the other ratio video. We're going to be talking about ratio and rate. I believe this is the harder page of the two. So it says John has 42 strawberries. He can divide them into two groups so that the ratio is 3 to 4. Okay, so this means that he has 42 strawberries. Okay, if I were to have the ratio 3 to 4, how many strawberries does he have? He has 3 in one group and 4 in the other group. So that means he has a total of 7 strawberries. Okay, so that means he has 7 strawberries. Okay, he has 7 strawberries in his first ratio of 3 to 4. Okay. I think the easiest way is to take this step by step. So my goal is to have 42 strawberries total because that's how many he has. Now, the first ratio is 3 to 4. I'm going to just keep making equivalent ratios until I get to 42 strawberries. So I'm not going to add to find equivalent ratios. I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to say 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? So if I say 3 times 2, I have to say 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, let's add them up. 6 plus 8 is 14. And that's going to mean now I have 14 strawberries. Okay, let's keep going. Times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And that means I have to do 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, do you understand that what I do to one group, I do to the other? So I said 3 times 2 is 6. That means 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, I have to go back to that initial beginning ratio. Okay, so now if I compare that, that's 21 ratios, or 21 strawberries, not ratios, I'm sorry. 21 strawberries. If we look in our right-hand column, we see that I'm counting by multiples of 7. That goes 7, 14, 21. Okay, and you should know that 42 is a multiple of 7. Okay, so what can I multiply 7 by to get 42? And that would be 6. So that would mean that 7 times 6 is 42. That means that I'm going to take my original ratio and multiply each one by, what do you think? Probably 6. We'll see if that works. 3 times 6 is 18. And 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, if I were to put my little bars, because these are ratios, this is my ratio right here, 3 to 4. And I multiplied it, the top by 6 and the bottom by 6. And now I have the ratio of 18 to 24. If I were to take these to find the total, my total needs to be 42 strawberries. So if I take 18 and I add 24, you will get 42 strawberries. Okay, so it says John has 42 strawberries. If you divide them into two groups so that the ratio is 3 to 4, okay, how many strawberries would be in each of the groups? Okay, that means that I would have 3 strawberries in one group, 4 strawberries in the other if I had 7 strawberries. But if I multiply by 6, now I'd have 42. How many would be in each group? In group 1, we would have 18 strawberries. In group 2, we would have 24 strawberries, okay? If you're still confused about this question, please raise your hand and I'll come to you and explain it to you again. If not, try to rewatch the video. So let's say that again. Okay, so the ratio was 3 to 4. This right here gave me a total of 7 strawberries. Okay, I want to end up with 42. Let me pick a different color. I want to end up with 42 strawberries. Okay, so that means my next ratio needs to be, so it's 42. 7 times 6 is 42. That means I want to multiply my whole ratio by 6. 3 times 6 is Okay, so I multiply the top by 6, the bottom by 6. That's 18 over 24. If I add 18 to 24, that gives me about 42. Okay. Next, it says in math class we have 48 black marbles and we have 24 red marbles and 24 blue marbles and 12 green marbles. Find the ratio of red to total. Okay. So we understand we need to find the red. The red has 24. And then I add them all up to find my total. And I need to simplify my ratio, okay? I want your answer as the simplified ratio in simplest form, okay? For number 4, skip number 3, do number 4. It says you have 10 Barbie dolls, 10 Barbies. And now I have 2 Ken dolls for each of those Barbies. If I separate proportion, if I have 25 Barbies, how many Ken dolls would I have? Okay, you could solve as a proportion. I like to go back and find the unit rate. So I could say 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So if I have 5 Barbies, I have 1 Ken doll. So 5 times 2 would give me that 10. So if I jumped 5 times 2 is 10. Now if I go 5 times what is 25? So 5 times 5 is 25. So that would be 5, or 1 times 5 would be 5. So if you notice, the ratio is still the same. If I take 25 and divide it by 5, I get back my equivalent ratio of 1 to 5. I'm sorry, 5 to 1. 5 Barbies to 1 Ken doll. Okay. Next, I want to talk about number 8. Okay, it says Austin earned $10 an hour for his working in his mom's yard. She also paid him $5 every day he works, if he does anything at all. Is the amount of money he earns daily proportional to the hours he works per day? Use the ratio table to help you answer. So, he earns $15 for the first hour he works. For the second hour he works, he earns $2. Okay, equivalent and proportional relationships mean that if I have 15 for 1 hour, for 2 hours I would have times 2, that would be 30. If we look at this ratio table right here, is that the same thing? No, it's not proportional, because if you read the word problem, it says that he earns 10 hours, $10 per 1 hour, plus his $5. Okay, so for his second hour, he worked 2 hours. So yes, that would be 2 hours would be $20. But he still only earns that $5 more. Okay, it's not a proportional relationship. If he didn't earn that 5 extra dollars, it would be proportional. It would be 10 to 1, and 1 times 2 is 2, and 10 times 2 is 10. But with him earning that additional $5, it makes it non-proportional, because 1 times 2 is 2, but 15 times 2 is not 25. That would be 30. So that's not a proportional relationship.